Just want to give you some updates as to what is happening between Russia and Ukraine hours after a brazen drone strike rocked Kazan. Russia unleashed its deadliest response yet. Putin's forces deployed FAB-500 bombs targeting a vital Ukrainian bridge with precision strikes. I want you to take a look at this map here. You can see Kazan here. This is a regional hub, a capital, actually a regional capital in Russia. This is inside of Russia, and they cherish this piece of land or the city. The Russians, they do a lot of business. They hold conferences, meetings. This is a tourist spot at the same time. In other words, this is very, very precious to Russia and its economy, for its tourism and all that. We have seen in this place, Russia held the BRICS meeting in Kazan in November, I believe. No, it was in October, I believe. I don't remember now. I think it was in October. But anyways, this place, Kazan, is very, very important for Russia. What Ukraine did, they attacked this place after Putin said, let's have a tech duel. He proposed Ukraine and its government to have a duel with Russia, between Russia and Ukraine, on high-tech drones and missiles. Ukraine looks like took that from Russia and decided to strike Russia where it will hurt the most. Therefore, they targeted Kazan, very, very important strategic place once again. This is coming also after Russia is bombing Ukraine with hundreds of drones. Only yesterday, they have launched 113 drones into Ukraine. Ukraine said we have intercepted 56 of them, 57 of them, I think, and 56 of them went to the wrong direction, or it was destroyed by the Ukrainian Air Force. But the point here is that Ukraine is playing it down when it comes to Russian drones hitting Ukrainian airspace. They're saying it is really not affecting us the way you would expect. But nevertheless, Russia is now using new hypersonic missiles and drones on a regular basis to jam at the same time Ukrainian airspace, so that the radar that is used by Ukraine, provided by obviously the West, would not be able to detect, just like what happened in Israel with the Iron Dome and David Sling. They got jammed, they were overwhelmed. Exactly the same technique that Russia is using with Ukraine by sending this many drones in that country. Now, I also want to actually show you some other reports so that you understand better, but I just want to actually zoom out from Kazan to show you exactly where it is located on the map inside of Russia. So you can see this is Kazan and this is Russia, and you have also Ukraine, and you also have Belarus, all of these countries side by side. But Russia is so big. Take a look. Russia is so big, like it's a huge country. They have huge land, and this is why perhaps sometimes it can be confusing to pinpoint exactly where this kind of attacks are taking place inside of Russia because of the vastness of land that Russia has. Now, not only this, let me actually share with you a few other things here. Putin, he ordered 100 plus attack aircraft into Ukraine, and they tried to hit this time Kiev, right at the heart of Ukraine, Kiev. Russia launched, this is what it comes on the news, a massive drone attack on Ukraine after assaulting Dnipro. We have seen how Russia used those hypersonic or Russian missile few weeks ago on Dnipro, and now he's targeting Dnipro with attack with the drones. The Ukrainian army reported that Russia fired 113 drones from multiple directions on the night of December 21st. Ukraine claimed to have shot down 57 of these drones across 11 regions. Additionally, Kyiv Air Force said that Russia also fired an S-400, we're talking about S-400 missile at central Ukraine during the same attack, as you can read on the screen right here, guys. What I'm trying to get you at here is this. Things are getting intense between Ukraine and Russia. Ukraine is obviously not doing it by their own. They are being asked by US to do so. Why I'm saying that? It is because the Western countries, they have such a big ego. When Putin invited Ukraine for a duel with drones and missiles and all that, with high-tech, of course, that ruffled the feather of the Western governments, and they decided to actually hold Russia to account. Now, Ukrainian drones strike deep inside Russia. Russia takes a village near Donetsk. Russia is advancing into Ukraine every single day by almost about 30 kilometers. Means they're closing in on Ukraine. This is coming from France 24 news network. Now, Ukrainian drones have hit residential buildings in Russian city of Kazan, more than 1,000 kilometers or 600 miles from the front line. Again, as you can see, Kazan is also at the center of center of Russia, and it is 1,000 kilometers from the front line. So you can see that Ukrainian missiles are now able to travel that deep inside of Russia. Russia doesn't really need to find out from the devices, from the fragments, to see where these are coming from. These are, of course, ATACMS and Storm Shadow missiles and other missiles provided by the West to attack Russia, because it is traveling now 1,000 kilometers inside Russia. Ukraine doesn't have those kind of technology, and we know that they're being supplied by the Western countries. The Russian Ministry of Defense said the city, located some 800 kilometers, 500 miles east of Moscow, was attacked by 3 waves of drones between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. So again, these are happening in matter of just few, or actually a couple of hours, literally. It shows how fast they are traveling and how much Ukrainian and those people who are operating these machines are effective in doing so, and sending those salvos of missiles into Russia in no time. Very, very deadly. So Russia is not going to take any chance with Ukraine anymore. 8 drones were used in the attack on Kazan, according to the press service of the Tatarstan regional government. 6 hit residential buildings, 1 hit an industrial facility, and another was shot down over a river. So 8 drones were used in the attack. So this is actually this was conducted by Ukraine into Russia, right? Local authorities said there were no casualties. Ukraine did not acknowledge. So this is coming from Russia to Ukraine, that the attack is keeping its security policy. Okay, it's attack in keeping with the Kazan airport temporarily halted flight arrivals and departures. Russia's aviation watchdog Rosaviestia said via Telegram. So these attacks with the 8 drones were used. These are all coming from Ukraine into Russia. And Russia, it was so bad, they had to shut down the airport temporarily in Kazan. And again, shows how serious the incident was. Now, high-tech duel. The incident comes amid growingly brazen attacks after Russia's President Vladimir Putin proposed, quote-unquote, a high-tech duel with Kiev during his end-of-year news conference on Thursday, suggesting he would test his claims that Russia's new hypersonic ballistic missile was impervious to air defenses. Again, I mean, Putin, why you do that? I was a little bit shocked when I hear Putin was asking for a duel. No, you don't have to do it. I think he was actually talking directly to US and UK. He was challenging them. Come get me, and I will get you with my drone technology. On Friday, at least 1 person was killed and 7 were wounded after Russian hypersonic missile hit Ukraine's capital, Kiev. So this is happening now in Kiev. So the one I just mentioned to you happened in Russia, in Kazan. Now Russia, they launched hypersonic missile into Ukraine capital Kiev, and Ukraine targeted the town of Rilsk in Russia's Kursk border region. So they are not targeting only Kazan. Ukraine is also targeting the town of Rilsk in Russia's Kursk border. Now, Kursk border is close to Ukraine. It is almost at the very vicinity, very much of, in proximity of the front line. And this is Kursk border. This is where Ukraine launched those attacks in the beginning with the ATACMS and Storm Shadow missiles provided by UK and US. They targeted the Kursk region, and Russia said don't do this. But now they are getting deeper inside Russia with 1,000-kilometer range in the city of Kazan. So again, things are really getting escalated very, very fast. So Kursk region border on the same day, deploying United States supplied missiles in an attack that killed 6 people, including a child. I don't think Russia is going to forget about this missiles that are being supplied by US and UK to Ukraine that killed a child and killed 6 other people. I mean, unbelievable. This is a huge escalation, guys. Ukrainian officials said Moscow sent 113 drones into Ukraine overnight into Saturday. 57 shot down, 56 were lost, likely having been electronically jammed. Who are doing this jamming? Well, it is the Western technology. Ukraine doesn't have those kind of technology. So when we talk about Russia and Ukraine, we're really talking about Russia versus NATO, Russia versus US and UK. Ukraine's or Western or NATO's Air Force said Russia also fired one S-400 missile at central Ukraine, but there was no damage from it. Moscow has been launching near daily attacks with dozens of drones at Ukraine in an effort to exhaust its air defenses. Russia is also continuing its battle to take control of the Donetsk region of eastern Ukraine. On Saturday, the defense ministry claimed its troops captured the village of they're called Ostrovsky by Russia, and this name, if you can pronounce it, good luck with that, because that name is quite a bit of mouth filled word. Now let's take a look at this particular report where they are now reporting, the Western media, about the attack on Kazan airports and how it is affecting Russia.
On now, Ukrainian forces carried out a major drone attack on the Russian city of Kazan Saturday. A drone smashed into a high-rise apartment building, though there were no casualties, according to local officials. And then that came as the governor of Ukraine's Kharkiv region said that 8 people were wounded there on Friday night in Russian drone attacks on the regional capital. Here's more for some residents.
I was in the other room, and I heard a roar.
24's international affairs editor Philip Turl joins me on set. Hi there, Philip.
Hi, Erin.
Both Russia and Ukraine have been carrying out offensive strikes over the past couple of days. What's the latest?
All right. Well, what we're seeing here is, remember, Vladimir Putin did a press conference, his annual press conference the day before yesterday. He wants to show that he still has the military capacity to strike Ukraine and also to take villages in Ukraine. The pressure is mounting on the Russian president to come up with the goods, if you like. We're almost 3 years into the war in Ukraine. Russia still hasn't managed to take control of the country. It believed it was going to just take control within 3 days. I think there is a number of questions, and there are a number of questions that remain without answers as to what Russia's final aims are here, how it attempts to achieve.
Isn't it interesting to see and observe the Western media narrative about war when it comes to Israel and Lebanon or even Gaza? They don't mention this kind of thing, that it has been more than a year now. Israel was not able to defeat or take land from Lebanon or defeat Hamas in Gaza. But when it comes to the war between Russia and Ukraine, Russia could not take a piece of land from Ukraine, and it's been almost 3 years. How pathetic that is.
In Ukraine. And coupled with that, we've got the arrival of Donald Trump in the White House and also growing pressure for a ceasefire agreement in Ukraine over the next few months once Donald Trump gets to the White House. And I think that on both sides there is a growing stress that they have to be in a stronger position to be able to negotiate the best position for themselves if they are brought to the negotiating table by Donald Trump, who's made it pretty clear that he wants an end to this war as quickly as possible once he reaches the White House on the 20th of January. So all of those conditions.
I think it is impossible for Donald Trump to stop this war. Even if he tries to, he cannot, because Russia is now fighting Ukraine on not just security basis but also an ego basis. I mean, why would Russia would say to NATO, come to us, we are going to have a duel? Like, that is something, to me, not right, because this is an escalatory tone from Putin. And the reason he's saying that is because he's very, very confident. He's I think he's 100% confident that the Western countries, NATO, they do not have an answer to the Oreshnik missile system they have. And this is why this is why Russia's Putin, he is always challenging the West. And I don't think, again, this would be good for the war situation happening at the moment in Russia and also in Ukraine. I want to know your opinion, guys, but this was an attack from Russia, and this, as I said, is a very deadly attack from Russia and also from Ukraine. They're trying their best to use whatever weapon they have from the West, supplied by the West, to damage Russia and its economy. They're now targeting Kazan. Who knows next what they will target? Moscow is the most protected, highly secured city in the world, according to some analysts. Are they going to target Moscow next? We do not know. But UK did say that the missile system is that Ukraine has from the West, from NATO, is such that it can even target Putin sitting in Moscow. So again, you can see both sides with big egos are fighting this war, and we are not seeing an end to it. And Donald Trump, when he comes to power on January 20th, he will also make decisions based not just on facts but also on his ego. If Putin doesn't give him a damn about it, like, he's not going to listen to Putin anymore, and he's going to side with Zelensky, give him everything he needs to inflict maximum damage to Russia. Things are escalating, and the rhetoric are getting harsher and harsher, and attacks are getting absolutely random and very, very dangerous at the same time in Ukraine and also in Russia.